What a great day for water testing. I can hear the creek. I have my little bottle that says Bragg Creek sample. I have the thermometer. I have the camera. I have the recording sheet to note all of my discoveries today. It's always important to sample from the same location. I have chosen this tree as my marker. When I see it, I know this is the spot where I go down to the creek. I find a good branch, and I put the equipment there to keep it dry and all in one place. But phase one, I'm going to need my thermometer and my sample bottle. Off we go. You want to get it in the flow. And this thermometer, I will take the temperature of the water. So I like to find a branch and just lay it there. Here's a good one. Just reached out as far as I could safely, filled up my little bottle. This is what we're going to use for testing. Got the temperature. Okay. 4 degrees. We should record on here. This particular site is site number 1. Today is the 4th of May, and my water temperature we just saw was 4 degrees Celsius. On the chart, it says take photographs up, down, and across. This is the other reason we're always at the same location. So we will always take photos up, down, and across from the same part of the bank. We always try and get some of the bank and perspective up and down the river, the creek, so we can see how the water is going up and down through the season. We have 2 things to do with the thermometer. One is the temperature of the water. The other is the ambient temperature. Instead of hanging it from a tree branch in the creek, I'm now hanging it from a tree branch just in the air. It says it is 23 degrees. Pretty fine. So I'm going to mark that on the chart. Current weather. I see blue skies. Blue skies. 23 degrees Celsius. So I'm going to say yesterday we had blue skies, 17 degrees. Now we're going to go in and do the actual testing of our water sample that we took from the creek. Here we have the water testing goodie bag. Inside we have things we have seen before. The paper where we make our notations. We have distilled water. We have half water, half vinegar. We have some of the things we've already used and put away. For instance, you know this one, the thermometer. We have a timer. We'll need that. 2 timers. Lens paper, should you want to clean anything and not leave little dusty marks. This is the waste water. There are other things that people might use, but those are the essential tools, and of course, our sample that we've recently taken from the creek. Now, what are we going to do with those? We are going to test them for nitrate, phosphate, chloride, this is a turbidity meter. This can be done outside on a very beautiful day, but if it's raining or not particularly pleasant, you can do it at home. Make sure you put a plastic tablecloth on your table. So here we're doing the phosphate test. There are 2 vials. Before beginning, we must clean them. We should also clean the little pipette. So I'll unscrew this these bottles. It's always a nice idea to cap with the same cap that was in there. This is the half water, half vinegar bottle. We're going to put a squirt of this in each glass vial. Going to clean the pipette at the same time. Oh, goody goody. There. So what the vinegar water solution will do is disinfect the vials and any other tools you choose to. Shake it, baby. So we have now rinsed all of that with the water vinegar mixture. That's why we have the waste jug. We will put the remains of that vinegar in there. Our distilled water, we will rinse those. And our little pipette at the same time. There we go. Rinse it out. And try and keep this more or less clean. Put the lid on. The S means sample, so you can distinguish one vial from the other. So you can take one sheet of lens paper. Be careful, it's very thin. There you go. So clean vials with vinegar and water. We've done that. Prepare the blank vial. So we had one with the S, one without an S. This will be our blank vial. So the blank we will fill with creek water. Here's our sample. Up to the 10 ml line. There is a little line. So that's what we're going to do. Very carefully, don't spill this all over the place. We're going to put some in, and that's where we use our little tool that we've just cleaned to make sure they were right at that line. My goodness. Perfect. Don't have to do it, but otherwise we put it in and suck some out or suck some in. Oh, thank you. Always have a sponge handy if you're in the house. That's why outside is a good thing. So that's our blank. I'm going to set this aside while I prepare the sample. I usually just put it back in the container. Here's our sample. We're going to fill this one also with creek water right to the 10 ml line. All right, so there we are. We have our sample vial filled with Bragg Creek water to the 10 ml line exactly. Now I have a phosphate number 1 tablet, number 1, and a phosphate number 2 tablet, number 2. Number 1, we are going to crush it with a stirring rod. So here's our number 1 pill. I'm going to put this in, trying not to touch it with my fingers. I'm going to very carefully remove the foil, plunk it in, and I have a little stick, and I have to crush this. So we hold it very carefully. They can be pretty hard to crush, so you give it, there we go. I'm just kind of crunching it up inside there, so it turns into pieces about the size of dust. This can take a little while, but not too long. Then I'm going to put the cap on and give it a shake. The goal is to dissolve that tablet number 1. Now we have done that. We take a pill from box number 2. Same process. Take 1 pill. There we go. We're going to put it in our test vial. Once again, trying not to touch the pill. Let's crush this. Pill number 2. There we go. Put on the lid. Give my sample vial a shake. And crush, if necessary, a second time. That's looking pretty good. Now we have to, since we've created such a wonderful thing, let it sit once it's dissolved for exactly 10 minutes before testing. I'm going to put the sample right there, and I'm going to pick up my timer and set it for 10 minutes and wait very patiently. While I am waiting in that 10 minutes, I can do another test. The nitrate test. Follow the instructions that are in each case. You've got your clean containers. You've got different powders or pills, depending which test you're doing, and your reading machine that you will eventually put your little test vial in. My 10 minutes is up, so now it's time to test. I'm going to take my little machine. You can leave it in the containment system if you want. Remove the little red plug, hit the on-off button, and wait for the little message to appear. Uh-oh. Oh, there it is. Welcome. It'll go through a few messages, and then it'll say insert blank. So that was the first one we made. We really haven't done anything with this at all. It just sat there, only creek water. So we put this in to that little hole, and the machine will read that, and it'll set the level for what pristine Bragg Creek water level should be. And it says remove blank. So I'll take that out and put in the sample.
Hello.
It will read the sample
Hi.
and give you a number. It says reading sample, please wait. 0.25. So that number
Okay.
I'm going to put
Okay,
on the phosphate number 1,
little,
0.25.
Chalks on the fence post thing.
Now we're going to do it again. The scientific method is to always do things 3 times.
Was replaced.
0.28, not the same. They're not often exactly the same. 0.28. 0.29. There we go. Add it to my list. And we are almost done for phosphate. The last thing we have to do is put all of the different sample things, empty them into our waste receptacle, and rinse them with distilled water. That'll make it nicer for the next people who come along. Phosphate, nitrate, chloride, this one. I'm now testing for turbidity. It's the biggest box, but the shortest test. Inside is a special bottle. It looks as though it's filled with water, but it's actually a transparent substance that's in there. Consequently, do not open this bottle. Do not add water. Leave it the way it is, because that's our tester sample. In here, we're going to do our dishes once again. So my instructions, there we go. Clean the sample vial. Check. Fill your sample vial with creek water. So there we are. We have our sample of clean creek water. Oh! 10 seconds. Stop. Now I'm going to actually read the nitrate test. Here we go. Sample, blank. Push it on, insert blank. So here's my blank. Place it forward. It'll do a read. Remove blank. Put in sample. And so this is the nitrate. Test number 1, 0.95. Nitrate. Test number 2, 0.1111. 0.119. There we go. So I'm going to clean all of those, turn this thing off. But meanwhile, I have to go back to my testing of turbidity. So we have our little box here. We turn it on. We place the blank, diamond facing forward, into the reader, close the lid, and hit the read button. Ha! The reading has come up. It says 5.44. That number should be somewhere in the range of the little numbers on the top. Let's say 5.3 to 5.8. So we're good. Now I'm going to put the Bragg Creek sample in, diamond forward, lid down, read. Let's put it on the chart, turbidity. There we go. We'll do it 2 more times. Test number 2, 15.6. Ooh, nice. That's a perfect reading. 15.6. Bingo. 3 times the same. Good job. So we'll turn this off, pop it back in the case, clean the vials for the next people, and we're ready for the next set of testing in a month's time from now.